Good morning, everybody. Monday, we are opening up the week Forex market. Welcome back. We got the pound Swiss franc here under the microscope. We've been here a few days ago, and we declared that we are about to abandon the ship because price was suspiciously pushing downwards, and we were already in. Early on, we built up a small size position going forward, and the plan was to push the position bigger if price would be kind enough, to secure this breakout. However, all along, right, as you can see, it's been very hectic here, right? Price was up and down, back and forth, constantly dancing on two key levels here, which were our main point of reference. We consider them as one unit because they're very close to one another. We're talking about 1859 and 1833. Now, the way things went down here was price had started to, we got in early on. We got in when price basically broke out on this moment. Right, and then we actually were able to double down around here, and we were able to build a decent sized position going forward. But then when we saw this move, right, it was so suspicious, we decided to get out. Basically, we took some profit. Wasn't a big profit, it was a small profit, but we decided to to close out that position because the risk was seemed to be outweighing the reward. Now, the reason we decided to abandon the ship was mostly because we suddenly started to see this big spike starting to form across, and it was getting close and closer and closer to that area. I want to show you how that looked like from the wiki perspective. Here we go. We're talking about this spike right before last Friday. Price was already trading very, very close to 1859, and what we saw here was a big spike, and that seemed to be so suspicious. And we figured out that we might as well take the small profit we already have, and secure this situation with this current position. And of course, if price will end up positively, we'll just jump back in. And, well, I think we got some good news because price did end up positively. Even though we saw that, spike, we saw price action just closing in on that level, on these two levels, it ended up, last Friday was actually very positive. And price pushed itself off that area, which is really good news for this particular, bullish conviction, which we suspect price should be hitting the upper section, at some point in the near future. We're talking about 2089 and all the way to the previous high at 2255 and possibly even to the edge at 2317, right? Now here's some more good news. We had that breakout confirmation coming from the weekly perspective, right? It's a weekly closing bar. But even this week started on the downside, already spiking that area. Take a look. 1859 pushing back, so we can see that this might end up being a reconfirmation for this breakout. I think this is a big moment for the pound Swiss, and like we said, that we'll be like I said, we're going to be interested jumping back in if all the conditions are going to be in line with our strategy here, with our game plan. And that's pretty much what happened. So there you go. We feel that we're ready to reestablish our bullish position here, guys. Also, from the daily perspective, you can see, how price is kind of dancing very nicely here with the key levels. You can see yesterday was a push forward. Today, kind of, checking it out from above. It seemed like a reasonable spot to pick this one up. And we're gonna be working with the stop loss level at 1720, and we're gonna be aiming at 120.89. That's the game plan. Even though we suspect price could go beyond that, 2089, possibly to 2255, as I've mentioned, just a minute ago, we're going to be addressing this movement, probably going to break down this move into 2 steps. Step number 1 would be hitting 2089. Hopefully we'll be able to execute, step number 2, where we're going to be, pushing for another, just a new position from 2089 to 2255. So we're going to be separating these 2 campaigns, right? 2 steps, step number 1, step number 2. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, we'll focus on what's in front of us right now. We still need price to push forward to give us that confidence that it's leaving this area, right? This is the twilight zone, if you will. 1859, 1833, and even 1802, as we saw a couple, just before the weekend kicked in. That's about that. Pound Swiss looking bullish. We'll be back to follow up on the situation here as usual. That's about that for this one. See you in the next. Stay tuned.